It's Monday. You know what that means. Time for the hottest sports podcast in all the land. And this week, we're keeping it clean and pristine with another illustrious guest returning to the man cave on the Flex Zone podcast. Episode 410 or episode 410. If you know, you know. We're talking Ravens. We got to drive down 95 or up 95 in this case. Devontae's Commanders suffered a heartbreaking defeat to the reigning NFC champions. We're going to recap the week that was, week 4. Update you on the Monday night game, go over the picks, give out our game ball, not so game ball. And we got a little talk of NBA big time trade. All-Star traded from one team to another. Wildcard playoffs. And you know the O's are sitting back chilling for the next few days. It's the Flex Zone podcast, guys. You guys know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that bell if you guys can. Vote on the poll. Let us know your thoughts. Share it down below. Sound off in the comments. It's yours, guys. We do this each and every week. Hit that bell when all new content drops. Episode 410 coming to you right now. More exciting than watching Taylor Swift at an NFL football game. It's the Flex Zone podcast, fellas. Only place giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Episode 410 or episode 410. If you know, you know. We're getting to it. Another Monday night. Big show. Ravens, Commanders. Week 4. Looking ahead to week 5. Got some NBA talk, big time trade, and MLB playoffs. We're hitting it all. All 3 major sports will be covered in this episode. If you guys can, if you're in the chat, you're joining us. We got a very illustrious guest. We'll get to him in 1 second. But if you can, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. Go ahead, let us know your thoughts on the week that was in the NFL and what you want to hear us talk about with the Ravens and any other NFL team. But you guys know the drill. At the Flex Zone 1 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The Flex Zone podcast on TikTok. And as always, you can donate to the channel using that Cash App. It is hashtag #TheFlexZone1. Want to support us, what we do here, and be part of the Flex Zone family. But batting leadoff, it's my social media producer. It is the guy who joins me each and every week for the Baltimore Ravens post-game show here on the channel, Big Raj. He was once an angry Ravens fan about a week ago, like Bobby Schmurda said. But this week he's seen the light, and he's been reborn because he's a happy Ravens fan. He's excited. He's happy. He's got the Magic Johnson smile. And as always, he finishes.
Finish him, Daddy.
Uh-oh, we got fireworks from Cravante. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Oh, wow.
I'm a happy Ravens.
Oh, yo, I did it earlier, and I don't know what's going on. But I'll wait. Come back to me. Go. Let Raj do his thing, and come back to me.
Hey, man, I'm a happy Ravens fans this week. Your last week was awful. I was at the game. Like I told you before, it was raining on me. They were looking like trash. But this week, they've cleaned up a couple things. You know, ran the ball pretty well. Lamar has some ridiculous throws. It was beautiful, but we're going to talk about it. We have a luxurious guest. Our friend to the show, you know, our guy Engraven is about to come on very soon. So I'm going to let that good brother come in very, very soon. But this is your boy, Big Raj. I'm extremely happy Ravens fan. And can't wait to talk to my boy, Engraven.
Next man's captain of the Goofy Ship, our resident Commandalorian, the chief Commandalorian, the voice of reason, the man that makes you say, my heavens. It is Cravante, baby. Not a victory Monday for his Commanders, but both teams played hard. Cravante, how you feeling today?
Those haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Commanders. We fight for RDC. Who are we? The Commanders.
Oh, sorry about that.
Fireworks.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It was a technical
There we
difficulty.
go. The fireworks.
Bro, I just logged in like normally, and I don't know what happened or what I did, but every time I do that, fireworks happen. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm using it to our advantage. Listen, man, I'll get into it later, but I'm not entirely upset with how the Commanders played. I'll get into it a little bit later, but y'all already know Monday nights is. I'm here with my bros, and of course, we got the great Engraving coming on in a short amount of time. So let's get this thing started.
Let's get to it. He is in the building. He's been waiting patiently. He is gracious enough each and every time we call to join us here on the Flex Zone podcast, giving us his wherewithal, his knowledge, his expertise, his view, his perspective, and doing it the way he knows how, representing team, keep it clean. You can follow him. Check out his channel or channels because he'll tell you all about it because now he has 2 channels. The man doesn't sleep. He's Mr. 25-8. Breaking down the Ravens, giving you all the NFL news, and so much more, only the way that he can. The #1 Ravens YouTuber. You can follow him at Engraving Vids, Team Keeping It Clean, and more Engraving Vids. He's a part of the Flex Zone family. He's gracious enough to join us here yet again. It is the one, the only. Put your hands together for the illustrious Engraving, everybody.
Oh boy.
Engraving, what's up, my brother?
Y'all are crazy, man. What's going on, man? Oh my.
Got all the sound effects for you today.
Engraving, what's going on, brother? Thank you for joining us again, man.
No, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I always do. Much love to all of y'all, man. Appreciate what y'all doing. Appreciate the consistency that y'all do it with too, man. So thank you.
Engraving, man, before we get into the Ravens, you have a new channel, my brother. A new way for people to check out your content.
Yeah.
Let the people know, man. For those who may not know, not only do you have your main channel, you have your new channel, More Engraving Vids. I'm going to put both channels down below. So if you don't know, you know now. Tell the people about it, brother.
No, I appreciate it. The second channel, because on our main channel I talk the Baltimore Ravens, and before I would get into some other NFL stuff in there from time to time. But I was like, you know what? Let me allow this channel to be just 100% Ravens, and then the new channel called More Engraving Vids to be just about the NFL in general. So that's about AFC, NFC, everybody, the whole league, and we just talk about whatever's going on in the league that we feel like talking about. And we have it on there. So y'all can check out the second channel if you feel like it. It's More Engraving Vids. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, we're not going to waste too much of your time, brother. Again, we appreciate you. Appreciate everybody on team keeping it clean, checking in. Raj, you want to go ahead and get started? I was enjoying the banter backstage before we got started, brother. Raj is happy this week, Engraving. Last week, he was a little down, but
Yeah,
the Ravens lifted him up.
Yeah, the Ravens lifted me up last week, like I was saying in my epilogue. But Engraving, great that you're back on the show, my good brother. The season has finally started. We're seeing what these Ravens look like for the first quarter. This is because it's the first quarter of the season. What are your thoughts so far, man? What do you like? What do you think the Ravens can improve on? And also, who's standing out to you so far?
What do I like? Probably the thing I like the most on offense, I like the red zone scoring. I was just looking at a statistic today that talked about just the difference with them scoring touchdowns in the red zone too, for the most part. But when they go in the red zone, they have been leaving with points just about every time. They did throw one interception in the red zone, but besides that, that was it. And that was Lamar Jackson, his only pick of the season thus far, which is great. Hopefully it stays that way and he don't throw no more picks at all. But I mean, you know how NFL goes. But anyway, so I've been liking the offense finishing. When they get close, they've been finishing. From the defense, I've been loving the fact that they've been holding it down, and they've been doing a really, really good job against some tough opponents, and they're missing a lot of guys too. Marlon Humphrey has not played a single snap yet. David Ajabo probably going to be out for the rest of the season. We'll see. Dafe Wade, he's been going the past couple of games. They lost Ardarius Washington, who was their starting slot corner. They lost Marcus Williams. And he could be back any day now, which is crazy to me, but we just got to wait on that. So they've lost, and I know there's going to be more that I'm missing. Oh, Tyus Bowser, he ain't even played yet. And I'm sure there's more, but they missing a lot of guys, but they still been holding it down. Where I was the most impressed with the defense was against the Bengals, because we know the Bengals. We're very familiar with the Bengals. The Bengals, they are a team that they could put up 30, 35 points just like that. Well, maybe not this year because something apparently is off, but we're so used to them running up that score. But when the Baltimore Ravens played the Bengals a couple of weeks ago, no, we didn't see any of that. They held them to 17 points. Jamar Chase had like 34 yards. Now T. Higgins, he was doing this thing, but Ravens held them in check, and that was nice to see. And then from special teams, probably the thing I like the most about the special teams this year has been Jordan Stout. Jordan Stout in his second year, and I know he was a pick that a lot of people was like, "Ugh, really, Jordan Stout, a punter?" But this year he's been, and last year he was solid too, but this year he coming into his own a lot more. He of course has been coached by Sam Cook, who was excellent at what he did. And just to be able to make the transition smooth from one, I ain't gonna call him a legend, but from one really, really good player, Sam Cook, one really, really good punter, to a rookie. That's a big change. That's a huge change. And one of the biggest ways that it could have possibly sort of hurt the Ravens is in the field goals. Because, you got your long snapper, you got your holder, which is Jordan Stout, then you got your kicker, Justin Tucker. But one thing about Ravens special teams that I've appreciated over the years, because remember before it used to be Morgan Cox. He was a long snapper. Sam Cook was a holder. It was a wolf pack. And then Justin Tucker was a kicker. But then Morgan Cox, he got cut. Then he went to go sign with the Titans. Then they put Nick Moore in there, and I was like, okay, all right, that's a big change, because we know how Ravens be depending on these field goals a lot of time, and that's just Justin Tucker. But it was a seamless transition. And then this year, Nick Moore is supposed to be the long snapper, but he got hurt in the offseason, tore his Achilles, so he's done for the year. So they signed, I want to say his name is Tyler Ott. I forget the long snapper's name, but
Tyler Ott.
It's still been a smooth transition. It ain't been no drop off at all. And it's the same way going from Sam Cook to Jordan Stout. It ain't been no drop off when it's come to that, just the field goal. So, and then he's been a solid punter as well, especially this week. He had a couple of kicks, a couple of punts where he put them in their own 20. So that's always nice when you can set up the defense with some real nice field position. So those have been my favorite things from offense, defense, and special teams so far this year.
Engraven, I wanna something I realized yesterday. I heard, and then I heard it again today.
Mm-hmm.
John Harbaugh gets a lot of slack. It seems like either people love him or they question his decision making at times, and we all do it. It's natural human nature. But
right,
150 wins as a coach. Guys aren't even making it 50 games as coaches in the NFL anymore.
That's
and this
real.
guy has 150 wins. Excuse me. What can you say about Harbaugh and his leadership, man? Like him or hate him, he's a winner.
Yeah. For the most part of his career as Ravens coach, he's done a lot of winning, done a whole lot of winning. So yeah, like you said, love him, hate him. You can't argue with the numbers. John Harbaugh has been around the Baltimore Ravens since 2008. And like you said, some coaches, they don't even make it to 50 games. Some coaches don't even make it to 34 games. So then that's 2 seasons. And some don't even finish the season. We've seen coaching turnover nowadays more than ever. So for you to have lasted that long, and I think his worst season was probably 2015, when I think they went 5-11, I want to say. But everybody was hurt. Literally, the whole team was hurt. But that shows that the team that you work for, the team that you're the head coach of, they got a lot of trust in you. They got a lot of faith in John Harbaugh, and it's been proven. Like, there have been times when I thought, oh, yep, Harbaugh about to be out of there. Harbaugh getting fired. Oh, he gonna get cut. And that's that. But he hasn't. He's still there. And it shows that Eric DeCosta and them, Steve Bisciotti, they really got a lot of love for Harbaugh. I mean, with him and Eric DeCosta, they next door neighbors. So it'd be kind of an awkward conversation. Be like, oh, Harbaugh, we got to let you go. But we going to move out. You're going to help him move out if you get fired. But Harbaugh ain't going nowhere. I think the last contract extension really showed me, like, Harbaugh is the only way he's not coaching the Baltimore Ravens is on his terms. He's gonna leave when he wants to. Because he like the leash that he has is extremely long. It is he ain't going nowhere. He is extremely safe. So I know with Harbaugh, sometimes there can be some frustrating moments. There can be some frustrating coaching decisions and whatnot. We saw it in last week's game against the mismanagement of the clock toward the end of the game, and it just seemed like there was a bit of a head scratching moment in that game. But Harbaugh's solid, man. He's a solid coach. Is there some stuff that he can improve on? Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Is there some stuff that he does well? Yeah, for sure, definitely. So Harbaugh gives you a mix of a little bit of everything, but yeah, he's been around for a long time, and he ain't going nowhere.
Now with all the injuries that are going on, man, I don't know what is wrong with this team these last couple years. It just seems like a person is always going down, or multiple players are going down per game. Like, what do you think it is? Do you think it might be the strength and conditioning coach? I know we just fired Steve Saunders earlier this year, so I know it's not him. Do you think it might be the turf? What is going on? I mean, like, we done lost Ajabo, like you said, he might be gone for the year.
Right.
That sucks because we really wanted to see what he can do so far, and this is his second year.
Right.
And then Oweh is hurt. Yeah, he's in a walking boot. I mean, like, what is going on?
I think that's a really good question, and we just don't know. And I think a big part of it is the foundation. And what I mean when I say the foundation is the Baltimore Ravens, they let go, like Steve Saunders, like you mentioned. He was the head of strength and conditioning. But there was still a lot of people that were under Steve Saunders that are still there. So Ravens still have the same foundation, in my opinion, when it comes to the strength and conditioning, the working out and whatnot. So Ravens really need to uproot this thing, and they got to figure something out, because ever since 2020, every single year, 2020, 2021, 22, and this year too, it's been a crazy amount of injuries without fail every single year. I remember, and it's crazy thinking that it seems so long ago. It's crazy thinking about going into week one. And I remember all the beat writers, all the reporters and stuff that cover the Ravens. They were out at practice and they were like, oh man, this is crazy. The only person missing from practice is Marlon Humphrey. They're like, every single other person is out here practicing, everybody. This is the healthiest that the Ravens have been in so long. And looking back at that, that was just not even a month ago, not even 30 days ago. And now where the Ravens are now, they done lost so many people. And even in this last game, we'll see how long Morgan Moses could possibly be out for. Hopefully not at all, but knowing how the Ravens been, probably be out for a little while. We'll see. So I don't know. I just think it's important that they uproot their, whether it's strength and conditioning or it's a bit more. Maybe it's the way that they practice. Maybe it's the way that they prepare for the season. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but Ravens need to really uproot this thing to fix it. And they gotta start from the ground up again.
Go ahead, Cravante.
Hey man, one, congratulations on the great Browns victory. Y'all doing your thing in the division.
There we go again.
y'all doing your thing, man. And so with all of what's going on in the AFC North, it looked kind of shaky at the beginning of the year. But now it's looking like the Ravens have a clear path. Now, granted, there's still a lot of things going on. Injuries a factor, and a whole bunch of stuff going on. But the Bengals and the Steelers look like they've hit a wall. And the Browns, who were projected to be possibly the last in this division, is going to be fighting with y'all for the division. But what do you think the Ravens' chances are with all of what's going on? Just for seeing a little bit. What are the chances that they can take this division going into the playoffs?
I think they definitely can, because we've seen it in the past. Everything is centered around Lamar Jackson's health. When Lamar Jackson's been healthy, the division has been theirs. Because you see it the past couple of years when Lamar has played, when he's been in the lineup, the Ravens have been atop either the AFC at times as a whole or just atop the AFC North. But it's when Lamar went down, that's when the Bengals, they've been running things for the past couple of years because Lamar has been out. So if Lamar Jackson is healthy, they got as good of a shot as anybody. And they've proven that already. And now they have a better roster, even though they're missing a lot of pieces due to injury. They have a better roster, so they're in better shape to compete for the division and to win a division. It is super, super early. It's only been 4 games. But again, you got to start somewhere. It's better to start great than to start terribly. So with them being 3-1 right now, and this next game against the Steelers, if they can win that game, that can do so much for them, because with the division, this will be their last away game for the division. Well, at least in regular season. Playoffs could be different depending on how things go. But during the regular season, this is their last away division game going against the Steelers. So the next 3 division games, they all at the crib. They all at M&T Bank Stadium. So that gives you a big advantage right there. So if you can sneak this win against Pittsburgh this Sunday, that sets you up real nice in the division, man.
I agree. Definitely set us up very, very beautifully in the division.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is this, man. I've been watching Lamar Jackson this season, and I'm loving the way he's playing. Besides last week, we're not going to talk about that. But besides that game, I've been loving the way he's playing. Todd Monken has been calling a pretty balanced game with him as well, using him, running and during the end zone, and also his passing has gotten a lot more pristine. What are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson's evolution? Do you think this offense can get better, during the season? Do you think OBJ and Bateman will have an impact in it? Because I ain't gonna say they've been struggling, but Bateman, we know he's been going through a lot of personal issues, and he's not been fully there so far. And Odell is just coming back after being, gone for a whole year. What are your thoughts? Do you think they'll be even better during the season, or do you think what are your thoughts?
I think with Lamar Jackson, first off, starting with him, this offense, it is really good for him, because it's something new, it's something different, and it's something that's more challenging. With Greg Roman's offense, it wasn't a bad offense. It wasn't a bad offense, but I think just they had reached the peak of it, and in my opinion, they should have moved on years ago. But it's all good. It is what it is. They're here now. But with Todd Monken, and this offense it's a lot more challenging, man. And that's a great thing, because we need to be challenged in order to get better. And with Lamar Jackson, this offense, it is challenging them, and it's been a beautiful thing. Now, there have been some ugly moments, because in the offensive line, it's been a little shaky, but there have been the fumbles too. Lamar Jackson definitely got to get that cleaned up. But it's like, despite those ugly moments with the fumbles, and then there've been some misses, but it's not at the point, and it hasn't been this season where it's like, whoa, Lamar, who are you throwing to? Who was that for? We haven't seen that at all. And Lamar has been laser focused, man. He's been pretty sharp for the most part, with the short passes, with the intermediate pass, and then with the deep passes as well. Now, hopefully, as the season goes on, they'll take some more deep shots. But I think a big part of that is the offensive line too, and just having time to actually take the deep shots, because he ain't had much time back there this season so far. Texans got a lot of crazy pressure. Bengals, they didn't really get none. But then the Colts, they got a lot. And then against the Browns, they got a lot too. So Lamar hasn't really had much time. But with this offense, it's just seeing him grow and seeing him being given the opportunity to grow is a big thing. The way that the Ravens invested at wide receiver this offseason, it's been big. It's been really big. And it's crazy that 2 of the Ravens' 3 significant investments at wide receiver, they ended up having to be the starters in this past game, because Odell was hurt. Obviously, Bateman was out. So Nelson Aguilar and their first round draft pick, Zay Flowers, they had to start that game. Then, of course, there was Devin Duvernay as well. So yeah, it's with Lamar Jackson, I'm just happy to see him just continue to ascend to that next level. I do for sure not even think, but know this offense can be better throughout the season. because they've been solid. I can't call them great at all, but they've been solid thus far. And they've had a lot of mistakes. They've had the turnovers. Again, the fumbles have been probably the biggest thing right now. The fumbles in the offensive line have been my biggest issues so far. But once they get that cleaned up, then, man, they could do some damage. Now, when you brought up Rashad Bateman and Odell Beckham Jr., Odell Beckham Jr., I think really with both of them, just getting them healthy and I think getting them involved a little early because with Zay Flowers, he going to get his. He's going to get his passes. He's going to get his targets. He's going to get his end arounds and handoffs, all that stuff. Zay Flowers going to get his. Mark Andrews, you self-explanatory. Mark Andrews, you already know what time it is with him. But with Odell Beckham Jr. sort of being the newbie here, even though he's a veteran, he's a new guy around. So it's taking them some time. Of course, he didn't play in this last game. I didn't play in the last 2 games. But even when he did play, I remember in the first game, they got it to him. It was late, but and when he finally caught that first pass, he was cheering and stuff. He's like, yeah, and I know. And inside of his helmet, he was like, finally. Because it was like late in the third quarter, maybe in the fourth quarter where he finally caught a pass. But I think it's about getting him involved early on. With Rashad Bateman, I think it's about getting him involved just period. Because he just really hasn't been involved too much. And, of course, he didn't play in this last game. But even when he was playing, just wasn't getting any passes really thrown his way like that. Wasn't really getting the looks like that or the opportunities. So I feel like it's a good problem to have. I know people going into this season, they were thinking, man, we got Odell, we got Rashad, we got Zay, we got Nelson Aguilar, Devin Duvernay, Mark Andrews, likely, Charlie Kohler. And people were thinking, man, that's so many mouths to feed. Maybe we don't need all that. But no, I think the opposite. I'm like, hey, it's a good problem to have because if you got all those mouths to feed, then, yeah, there are going to be some games where somebody ain't going off like that. But there are going to be other games where other people can pick that person up or they can pick up the slack and they can go off. So I think Rashad Bateman's time, it's going to come, man. It's going to come, but he just got to get on the field. Same with Odell Beckham Jr. There are going to be games where Zay Flowers might be a little quiet, but it's nice to have options. It's nice that it's not like it was in years past to where it's like, all right, if the defense stops this receiver right here or this tight end right here, then we're done. No, it ain't like that no more. So that's a beautiful thing. So this Ravens offense, they can continue to elevate and continue to ascend and continue to get better. And they will. But they just got to clean up a lot of the small stuff. One thing I'm glad about is with the Baltimore Ravens, we're not seeing like these huge, big issues to where it's like, oh, they can't score no points. Oh, they can't never move the ball. We're seeing simple fixes. And while from our eyes, it's a lot simpler, but they the ones that's actually on the field. So it'll take a little more. But it's simple things, in my opinion, that can fix this offense. One, clean up them fumbles. Stop donating the ball to the defenses with the fumbles. The offensive line, they can block a little better. I don't know if they got to hit up Ray Lewis for that deer antler spray or something, give him a boost. And then I had the third one and I lost my train of thought. But with those things, if they clean up the injuries, that's what it was. The injuries. That's with the injuries. That can help you, and that'll go such a long way. But those 3 things, they can clean up those 3 things, they'll be in much better shape.
And Graven, I want to ask you about the defense real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Mike McDonald, it seems like ever since last year in that Miami game after they gave up that big time lead, I know they got Roquan.
Yeah,
this defense has quietly been pretty solid. I know they bend a little bit, but it's okay to bend as long as you don't break.
Right.
And yesterday they were the better defense on the field, dare I say, and the Browns were talking all that jazz about being number 1. You look at Clowney, you get Van Noy. He comes from Pat McAfee 2 days ago, and he's getting pressures. Kyle Hamilton looks like he's going to make the Pro Bowl. He's talked about Roquan before we came on air. I mean, you got the pieces, but Mike McDonald, I mean, he's really finding his niche, I think, as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Mike McDonald's been good, man. And what he's been doing, which is nice to see, he's been putting guys in position to have success. And I loved Wink. Wink was cool. One thing that I talked about with Wink, though, is that he didn't recognize the situation for what it was. With Wink, there will be a lot of guys hurt, a lot of corners hurt, so you're missing guys, so other guys will get put in there. But a thing that we saw with Wink, we know he loves to blitz. and that's live by die by the blitz. And it's like, okay, but you got to recognize the situation a lot better. A lot of times he would leave guys on islands, leave cornerbacks on islands, and guys who they had just brought in as free agents, guys that were second, third, fourth string corners. And he would have these guys on islands with receivers and quality receivers. And it's like, hold up, what are we doing? We can't be doing that. But what I appreciate about Mike Macdonald is that he doesn't do that. Because again, we're missing Marlon Humphrey right now. We're missing Marcus Williams right now. Missing Tyus Ballard, missing the Dot Fairway, missing the Jabo. So we're missing a lot of guys. But you still see this unit come together collectively and still been playing great, even against some of the top receivers. Like again, a couple weeks ago against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and them. You've seen them still put it together. And like you mentioned, yeah, there has been some bending, but for the most part, they ain't been breaking. So got to give a lot of credit. Huge shout out to Mike Macdonald, how he's had this defense playing, and they get it. They get it. Maybe it was one of those things where, again, because this year they get a new offense. Last year, this is a new defense. So there was a learning process. There's a learning curve. And with last year, maybe a lot of guys, they were learning it, getting familiar with the system. And now in the second year, for a lot of them, some of them in the first year, like Jadeveon Clowney, Kyle Vanoy literally just got here. Ronald Darby just came late in the offseason. Rocket Singh came late in the offseason. Arthur Millette, he came this offseason. So you still got a lot of new guys. But guys like Kyle Hamilton, man, like this dude, somebody was asking me yesterday, like, oh, do you think that the Ravens have 3 top 15 safeties? And they mentioned Marcus Williams. Oh, okay. Geno Stone and Kyle Hamilton. I was like, oh, I don't know about all that. But with Kyle Hamilton specifically, I can't even call him a safety because he doesn't really play the traditional safety role. They have him moving all over the field. And that's something that they had him doing last year. Last year, they had him at nickel corner. They had him drop back a little bit, too. They had him around the box, though. They had him blitzing. So they had him moving around. So I was thinking, all right, going into this season, they traded Chuck Clark away. Kyle Hamilton, he's a first-round pick. So they going to want him to be a more traditional drop-back safety and whatnot, sort of have him take that Chuck Clark role. But one thing that I appreciate, they didn't try to fix something that wasn't broken. With him being the first-round pick, you could think, like, because I thought it, like, oh, yeah, they're going to have him be just a regular safety now. But no, they've been having him just be a baller, been having him all over the field, and been doing using him how he was used last year, too. But this year, he's looked even better. He looked even more comfortable. And I was so happy for him at the end of the game yesterday when he got his first pick, just to close it out. Because you know how, like, us as fans, and I'm sure the players, they would get upset, too, even though a win is a win. But us as fans, I know me, and this is for whether I'm watching the game in real life or even if I'm playing Madden. Say, for instance, having a great game. The Ravens shutting down on defense. The score may be like yesterday, it was 28-3. And if it's the end of the game, and again, watching a real game, or I'm playing in my franchise mode in Madden or something, and on the last play, if the computer or somebody I'm playing against, they throw a touchdown, or if I'm watching a real game and they throw a touchdown, I'm like, man, they messed up the score. I had a nice I held the opponent to single-digit score. And it looked all pretty and whatnot, but now, they scored 10. Now that's ugly. I wanted to be better than that. But for Kyle Hamilton to close it out the way he did, so the Browns ain't get no touchdown, that was a beautiful thing. But the way, again, just back to Mike Macdonald, just the way he's got a lot of new pieces, but they just been almost plug and play. They've been plug and play, and it's been, again, another smooth transition too. So I'm happy that this defense is they coming along. They're gonna have some more tests, of course. This week they're gonna have a test against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then when they go to London, they're gonna be playing Derrick Henry and then with the Titans. But one game at a time for them, of course. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, and they're still gonna get healthier. So a lot of guys are gonna be coming back. When they're gonna be coming back, hey, who knows? But a lot of guys are gonna be coming back. So this defense that's already pretty good now, they could get even better in the future.
Now I will be going to the Arizona game, so I'll be traveling be more around town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be traveling out there. I got my itinerary already and got the flight schedule, so I'm ready to go. But my question is this: now that you have a second channel, more Engraving Vids, you're checking out more games. You're doing more of the NFL than just the Ravens. What are your thoughts on the other teams like that could be in the Ravens' way? You know, teams like Kansas City, teams like Buffalo. You know, the top tier teams that always seem to make the playoffs. What are your thoughts on them?
That's what the playoffs is for, and but regular seasons, that's where things start. So I think Ravens they got to get all the kinks worked out during regular season, and it's better for them to get those things worked out sooner rather than have to deal with them later. Because once you play those teams, and those teams like Josh Allen, obviously Patrick Mahomes, they got a lot more experience in the playoffs right now than a Lamar Jackson does. So they like the offense gonna have to be on point. The defense obviously gonna have to be on point too, but the defense, they've been doing their thing in the playoffs thus far. But I think one of the biggest parts, though, even before we even talk playoffs, because the Ravens playoffs have been, we haven't gotten to get closure the past couple of years, because 2020 Ravens beat the Titans. They beat the Titans in the playoffs, and then in the Bills game, Lamar got knocked out with a concussion. So we will never know what could have possibly been. I mean, they were down by a couple of scores, but they could have come back. Who knows? But we'll never know what would have happened. 2021, Lamar didn't finish the end of the regular season. And then last year, Lamar didn't finish the end of the regular season. Ravens made the playoffs, but it was Tyler Huntley. So it's one of those things that we will never know. And Ravens in that game with Tyler Huntley, they lost by 7. Then, of course, we know about the whole goal line fumble and all that. Ooh, that was yuck. But anyway, we don't have closure. So Lamar just being there in the play, that can change everything for the Baltimore Ravens. And something that I truly believe, that as long as Lamar Jackson is in the lineup, then Ravens got a chance to rock with anybody. Obviously, with the Chiefs, they are the reigning defending. Shout out to Paul Heyman. They the Super Bowl champs right now. And with them, they've been running the show in the AFC for a while, for the longest it feels like. But so they got it right now. I think what was the thing that said they never had an away playoff game, something like that. So they got some crazy stuff. But anyway, Chiefs don't do nothing but win. That's all they be doing is winning. So that's obviously gonna be a team that if the Ravens want to get to their ultimate destination, they're gonna have to go through them. The Bills, they always a problem. The Dolphins, who the Ravens will play on December 31st, that's gonna be a nice test for them, like right before playoff time, because going against Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Tua, again, a little rough game against the Bills yesterday, but Tua is nice, man. Tua is not. I mean, Ravens remember from last year. But boy, Tua is nice.
I remember.
Man. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's So as far as those guys in the AFC, Ravens just got to be ready for all of that. And then Bengals have been a team that's been known to start slow, and then they pick up steam toward the end of the season. So may still have to see about them too, but time will tell. But it's important that the Ravens, with all, again, it's not that it's nice that this stuff is happening now, like the fumbles and stuff, and sometimes the offense could be a little bit slow and lethargic at times, but it's better that it happened now than later. So it's important that they get all that stuff worked out now. So come playoff time, they'll be clicking. And like Lamar said, they said they don't want to peak too early. So they definitely ain't peaking right now. Even though they're 3-1, they definitely have not peaked yet. So it's important that they get that timing right and they start taking off at the right time too.
Hey, it sounds so heavenly on this side, on this side of Maryland. So can we take a ride down 95 South real quick? Where it's not as bright, not as sunny. So EB, new offense. I know you was talking about the Ravens and they're getting used to a new offense and some offensive line woes. I see those same things happening with my Commanders, and except at another point, we basically have a rookie quarterback. He's only played 5 NFL games, really. A lot of things are going on in DC with the Commanders. We got a culture change. We finally got Daniel Snyder out.
Yeah.
EB looks like he's slowly starting to get a feel for, what we can do. But how far do you think Eric Bieniemy could take this offense and but let's say by the end, let's say by Thanksgiving, by the end of the year, where do you think this my offense can be?
I picked the Commanders to win yesterday against the Eagles.
I
picked them to win, and I was checking the score. I was watching the Ravens game. I said, "Hold up, they about to do it." But then, well, you know the rest of the story. That's a great question because Eric Bieniemy obviously got all the experience in the world, and something that you just mentioned. You said it seemed like he's really finding out what they can do, like what they're capable of and whatnot. Eric Bieniemy before, he was spoiled. He had the best quarterback in the league with Patrick Mahomes. And when you have a Patrick Mahomes, I feel like you could be a little bit more loose. You could do a little bit more things and be like, all right, Pat, just go out there and do whatever. But now, and it's obviously no offense to Sam Howell, but he's different than Patrick Mahomes. Like you mentioned, he got way less experience than a Patrick Mahomes. So with that less experience, it's a learning process. It's definitely going to be a learning process. So I think everything will go as Sam Howell goes, and like you mentioned, as the offensive line goes. Because if your offensive line ain't blocking, then you're never going to be able to know how good or bad a quarterback can be because he ain't got no protection. But if the offensive line can block, and then I mean Washington, they got some nice weapons. Obviously, you got Scary Terry. He's nice. And is it not Dotson? I think it is Dotson, right?
Yeah, Jahan
Dotson. There we go, Jahan Dotson. Yeah. So they got and I know it's another one too that I'm forgetting. It's one more, and I remember him from the preseason game. He's a receiver,
but Curtis Samuels or
not Curtis Samuel, but Curtis Samuel was still somebody else too.
No, what, Scary Terry?
No, we talked about Scary Terry.
Oh,
but anyway, whoever it is, I don't even remember right now. But it's important that you give Sam Howell time. And then Eric Bieniemy, it's like, all right, it's important that he recognized, especially as a veteran offensive coordinator. He was actually who I wanted the Ravens to hire for offensive coordinator. But it's important for him to recognize, like, all right, if my offensive line ain't so good, let me switch stuff up. Let me try to get the ball out of Sam Howell's hands a lot faster. Let me throw in some quick passes and whatnot, maybe some screens and whatnot. Let's try to get the running game going and whatnot so we could try to make the offensive line jobs easier. A lot is on him because he's the guy that, and I'm sure the Washington Commanders are looking at him like, all right, hey, be our savior, man. You got to save the day, man, because for real, because it's like, hey, look, you are a multiple-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl offensive coordinator, so you know what it's like to win. Show us. I remember the report that came out. And again, I don't know how true it was or not. And that was like maybe a month and a half ago, where it talked about how the Commanders players, they were complaining about Eric Bieniemy, that he was too like mean at practice and stuff, or he was too rough at practice.
Loved it.
So it's like with something like that, and you mentioned culture change with the Commanders. They before this year, kind of even this year, but they haven't really been doing a lot of winning recently over the years. So him being from a team where they don't do nothing but win and coming over to the Commanders, that could be a big shock. That's like you working at a job where y'all get through the work day or whatever. You do enough to get by at the job. And then you get a new manager, or y'all might be under new ownership. And this new ownership, like, oh, no. We ain't going to be just doing enough to get by. We are trying to exceed expectations. We really trying to take this thing to the next level. And that could wake a lot of people up like, whoa. And that some people, it could throw them off. And they might be upset. They might be like, oh, man, no, that ain't how we did it before. Well, how you did it before, it wasn't good enough. It was barely good enough. But we trying to get way past barely good enough. So I think that's what it is with Eric Bieniemy. And it's important that, again, like you mentioned, he recognized what his players are capable of. He knows that he's not in Kansas City anymore, but try to bring over some of that winning culture and winning formula to Washington and implement it with the offense now.
And with that said, Dre just he texted us. He wants to ask you, with Eric Bieniemy, being in Washington, like how does that hurt the Chiefs, or do you think it's hurting the Chiefs at this moment?
I don't think it hurts the Chiefs. I mean, how much did they score last week? Not in this past game against the Jets where they almost
Yeah, like
lost.
41 or something.
Yeah,
41
and
or
then I
something.
know it was against the Bears, but still. So I don't really think it hurts the Chiefs. It doesn't help them, but it really helps Eric Bieniemy, and I'm really glad for him that he got that job. Chiefs gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. But with Eric Bieniemy, one thing that I learned about him from last year that I was like, oh wow, I'm glad he got out of Kansas City, is that it was just a weird dynamic there with Eric Bieniemy and the Kansas City Chiefs, because he was their offensive coordinator. Again, winner, Super Bowl champ, offensive coordinator, had already won a Super Bowl with them, but they kept signing him to 1-year deals. He wasn't even on a multi-year deal. He just kept signing for like the past 3-4 years. He's on like 1-year deals. And I'm like, really? Because I had no clue about that. And you know how with a player, think about with a player, whether they sign a 1-year deal, whether they get franchise tag, that there's no long-term commitment. So to me, in my opinion, that shows like, all right, the team's still filling you out if you're a player. So with a coach, you won a Super Bowl with them, but they still giving you just 1-year deals. So what, are they really still filling you out as a coach? Like what's up with that? It's just weird. But I'm happy for Eric Bieniemy because this gives him an opportunity to really expand, really flap his wings, go out there and fly. I was hoping that he would fly with the Ravens, but it's okay. He down the street. But it gives him a chance to be like, all right, let me show what I can do without Andy Reid, without Patrick Mahomes, without Travis Kelce, without all of them, and show that I can still do this thing on another team. And then maybe even one day he'll end up being a head coach. We'll see. But yeah, as far back to your original question, I don't think it hurts the Chiefs. It doesn't help them, but I don't think it really hurts them because they have found a way to get the job done regardless.
Engraving, perfect segue. We talked about birds flying high. Not only are the Ravens flying high, but the Baltimore Orioles. I want to ask you, number 1 seed in the MLB playoffs. They got a bye till Saturday. Tell me some good news. Are they going to be able to get it done? I got my hoodie on today. You know, I haven't taken it off yet. How are you feeling about the Orioles, man? It's good to see both teams doing well.
I mean, I'm happy for all the Orioles fans, man. I don't watch baseball at all, but I've been seeing like this year, because I've been seeing where I think they said last year the Orioles had like 101 losses, I think. But this year they got 100 wins for the first, and then that's a big flip flop. I mean,
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh, yeah, that's rough, man. But that's a big turnaround. And then I was talking to my guy Jason the other day. He was telling me like the Orioles, like they are one of the top teams, but they not one of the top teams in spending money. So that says even more about just how good they've been. So I'm happy for all Orioles fans, man. It'd be nice if I'm not a baseball guy, but if Orioles win the World Series, great for them. It'd be nice if the whole Baltimore could win everything this year. So we'll see how that goes, man. But congrats to all y'all Orioles fans, all y'all baseball fans who rocking with them. Congrats. I do like their jerseys though. The jerseys are nice.
It's room on the bandwagon, and you can check me out. We do the Orioles content here. We'll be live after every game on the postseason. It's room for you, Engraving. You can sit on the bus with us. Engraving, let the people know what you got going on in your channel. What's coming up this week? Steelers week, always a big week on your channel and your other channel, more Engraving vids.
Oh, before you go though,
Yeah,
we still gotta get on your channel. I forgot to remind you.
Oh no, I ain't forget. Yeah, appreciate it. No, yeah, this is a big week. It is Steelers week. It's different though. It just feel like over the past couple of years, the Ravens Steelers rivalry it ain't the same as it used to be. But anyway, hopefully this game will bring back the fun in what is Ravens and Steelers rivalry. But I do feel like Ravens and Bengals that has taken a new life over the past couple of years. But yeah, on the channel, just on the Engraving Viz channel, we got just daily Ravens news, updates, whatever they got going on. We're going to be on there talking about it every single day, videos every single day. And then on our more Engraving Viz channel, just general NFL content, talking about whatever's happening around the league. So yeah, it's something there for everybody on it. Whether you want to subscribe to both channels, you want to pick one or the other. Hopefully you'll come through on both, but the choice is up to you. But I appreciate anybody that watches anything, anybody that supports. Much love to all of y'all. And make sure that y'all subscribe to this channel. I know y'all here on this channel because y'all are already subscribed, but if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel and show them love because they work hard, man.
Engraven, we can't thank you enough, brother. Great way to start the first month of the season with the Ravens, and hopefully the next time we talk to you, we'll be talking about a deep playoff run that the Ravens are embarking upon if they haven't already made that run, my brother. Engraven, we can't thank you enough, man. Keep up the good work. Send love to you and all your family as well, my brother.
I appreciate it.
Again, everybody, give it up for Engraven. Follow him at Engraven Vid. Keep it clean and more Engraven Vid. He'll be back down the line this season, checking in with the Flex Zone. Engraven, we appreciate you, my brother. Thanks again.
Always appreciate you, my guy. Always.
Once again for Engraven, everybody. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Engraven for always showing love to the Flex Zone podcast. Make sure, again, y'all follow him at Engraven Vids and more Engraven Vids. Stand up late with the Flex Zone. Cravante, you want to go first with the Commanders, your Commanders thoughts, or Rod, you want to go real quick recapping your thoughts on the Ravens and let the people know what we do each and every week with the Ravens. Let's go to you, Raj. Let the people know in the chat what they need to do, how to keep up with us, what we do on the channel each and every week regarding the Ravens content as well.
We do post-game shows every week after the game. So you want to definitely check those out. We do pre-game shows as well. Letting you know what's about to happen, of course, with Byron. He does the pre-game shows. We also do other content as well. We're going to do MLB playoff content. So stay tuned for that. If you're an Orioles fan, definitely going to be doing that after every playoff game. NBA content as well, and other content. So just stay tuned. We do wrestling content too. So we do a lot of content basically. So just hit that like and hit that subscribe if you like, the content that you're watching. Just watch it. Comment, let us know. But to my Ravens thoughts this past game. Good game, man. I mean, there's not too much to say. The Cleveland Browns surprised everybody yesterday with Deshaun Watson not playing, and it definitely had a major effect on how that game was going to go. Usually, since 1999, the Ravens have never lost to a rookie that started off against them. So it didn't. The trend didn't end yesterday. They destroyed DTR, as they call them, and
DTLR. That's we getting chewed.
I heard that place is closed down. But
no.
But the Browns, the Browns defense, they're not the number one defense anymore. I'm sorry to say. Although Myles Garrett did get his hits on Lamar Jackson, they still got lit up like a Christmas tree when Lamar had a little bit of time. So the Ravens did what they're supposed to do against the rookie quarterback. Justice Hill coming back made a big difference. Gus Edwards running the ball hard made a big difference. Getting Mark Andrews involved early and often made a huge difference as well. And the Ravens just rolled. Their defense has been playing extremely well. Roquan Smith he's been playing out of his mind, giving us a lot of a certain Lewis moments from way back in the day. But yeah, man, the Ravens are doing very well after the collapse last week against the Colts. They rebounded very well against these Browns. Other than that, though, they've been killing it, man. So I'm looking forward to the Steelers game. I'm pretty sure we'll be doing picks tonight, so just stay tuned for that. But I'll pass it to Cravante. I'm pretty sure he got a lot of thoughts on his Commanders.
Yeah, we want to get Cravante's thoughts on his Commanders because we still got a lot to get to. We're going to get to the Dame Lillard trade, give out our game ball, not so game ball. But Cravante, Commanders lose 34-31 in overtime in Philly. And guess what? You guys are on Thursday Night Football in prime time on Amazon Prime, hosting the Bears.
It's gonna be something. I will say, I was talking a little bit about it. Shoe City closed, not DCRLR.
Shoe City. My bad, DTLR. I'm sorry.
So last week was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. A very humbling. Y'all not where y'all think y'all are. Y'all not with us. Both those lost. So that just let us know we're not on a contending level, which I did not think so. And how the team bounced back. I am happy with the performance. It was a tough loss, especially with us being up. Like, I'm not used to being up at halftime. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are just so different. I'm like, wow. But I'm waiting for the letdown. I'm still waiting for the letdown. And there was a little letdown because we didn't do anything in the third quarter. But then the fourth quarter, boom, 2 touchdowns. We back in it, baby. And it's a little bit of controversy. Like, maybe we should have went for 2, or because overtime obviously didn't work out. But that's kind of damn if you do, damn if you don't type of situation. The Commanders seem to always play the Eagles well, which is cool with me because the Eagles were in the Super Bowl last year in the NFC, and they represent the NFC conference. So us playing well against them gives me like okay, I think things are slowly changing. This our second time putting up 30 points. Y'all know I'm not used to that. So offense, they still have our offensive woes because of the offensive line, but Eric Bieniemy just got to work with what he got, and Sam Howell cannot hold onto the ball, man. And that comes with him being a young quarterback. A young quarterback with a below average offensive line is usually not a good thing. And we're still able to put up 30 points twice. So I think Eric Bieniemy is getting the most out of his team. One of my issues is that we are not, when we have the lead, we're not sticking our foot on nobody's neck. We just aren't. And I think that just goes, we're not there yet. We're still working through these kinks and all that. Defensively, Chase Young is an animal. Chase Young is an absolute animal. When he's healthy, he is an animal. Like, he got the most pressure out of anybody on the D-line, and it really wasn't close. So he's playing for a contract, we all know, and him bringing the heat like he always does is going to do well for our defense. Now, on the back end, I'm not ecstatic. I'm not happy. AJ Brown had a field day, an absolute field day.
I'm happy though.
So
He's on my fantasy team.
He must be on your fantasy team, but he had a field day, an absolute field day, and that's not good. I want to say he had 175 yards receiving or something like that.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's not great. For my secondary, they kind of had their way. He kind of had his way with my secondary, and that's not good. But my young boy was on him, and he got a welcome to the NFL. If he didn't get it before, this is your welcome to the NFL, rookie. You not with me yet. You not on my level yet. And he made it for his fault. He was fighting out there, but we could tell AJ Brown was AJ Brown. And my guy looked like a rookie. And that's okay. These are growing pains. These are things I kind of expected that. So defensively, it was some key stops we needed and we wasn't able to get because the Eagles offense is still very dynamic. But we were in the game all the way to the end and even had a chance to win in the end. That call at the end with Terry McLaurin, they said he was out of bounds. It could have went either way, but all in all, we could not get key stops. And when we had the ball with the lead, we could not. It's like we were flat after that, but it's all good. Sam Howell, this is only his 5th game as a professional. He's still playing pretty well outside of him holding the ball a little longer than he needs to. And I like where the Commanders are right now. Things could be a lot worse. We're not the Broncos. We're not the Giants. We're not the Cardinals. So
We're not the Bears.
And we're not the Bears. So Thursday night show, we better do work. We better
7-point favorites, by the way, Cravante. You betting that 7 points? Yeah, 7 points.
I hate it. I that's too many points. But we should win.
Real quick, Bears. You host the Bears, then you go to the Falcons with a little layoff, and then you have the Giants who just got their ass whooped tonight. I think the Seahawks had 11 sacks.
I know 10. It was double digits. It was
Yeah,
double digits.
11 sacks and a pick six. Devin Witherspoon, Cravante, 2 sacks, interception, pick six. We like them coming out. Then you have the Eagles again at home, and then you have the Patriots who suck, Seahawks who are looking legit, Giants again, Cowboys on Thanksgiving around that time. So, and then you got the Dolphins. So, hey man, it'll be interesting next month and a half.
Hey, listen, how many how many wins? What was the over? I'm liking the over more and more.
Yeah, I think it was over 7 or it's about
8,
7.
like
So eight wins, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely get that. We could definitely get that. We'll unfortunately probably be in the middle of the pack, but it's well we can I can see 8-9 wins out of this team, which will be okay for year one for Eric Bieniemy and year one for Josh Harris and Magic Johnson, and really a true year one for Sam Howell. That's not terrible.
Yes, sir. Let's go around the league. Let's get the scores. Then we'll do our game ball, not so game ball. Then we'll do our picks, and we'll get into the Dame Lillard trade that was this past week. Real quick, last Thursday, we saw the Lions defeat
Woo-woo!
the Packers 34-20.
Woo-woo!
Ravens beat the Browns 28-3. Jaguars over in London. They'll be in London again this week. 23-7 over the Falcons. Bills beat the Dolphins 48-20. Broncos beat the Bears barely 31-28. My
Barely.
upset pick of the week came through. Cravante, CJ Stroud and the Texans got it done over the Steelers.
Good. You did.
30-6. Vikings beat the Panthers 21-13. Rams beat the Colts 29-23 in overtime. Buccaneers 26-9 over the Saints. As we mentioned, Commanders lose to the Eagles 34-31 in overtime. Titans break out a Music City Hammer time 27-3 over the Bengals. Chargers, Justin Herbert had broken fingers and they still won 24-17. I think Khalil Mack had 6 sacks. So the weekend of the sack.
Oh my God.
Cowboys beat the hell out of the Patriots 38-3. 49ers whooped up on the Cardinals 35-16. Christian McCaffrey is scoring every week in multiples. And the Chiefs outlasted Jets 23-20. Roger, we're going to do our game ball, not so game ball. If you're just watching or joining us for the first time, game ball is our standout. Not so game ball is our dud of the week. Could be a player, could be a team, could be anything you think. Go ahead, Raj.
Well, my dud of the week goes to the Chicago Bears, man. And I said last week that I had no faith in them, and I thought that Justin Fields might be traded. And you know what, man? It still looked like it's going to go in that direction. They had this game won against Denver. I think they were up by like 3 touchdowns or something like that, something serious. But yet again, they just find a way to lose another game. And Justin Fields actually had a really, really good game, 4 touchdowns. But he just made some really crucial mistakes at the end that cost him the game. Coaching was pretty awful as well in the second half. And they just laid an egg, man. So they get my not so game ball. I do feel bad for Justin Fields. He has been struggling a lot this year. And now he finally has a good game, and they still find a way to lose. So yeah, that's my not so game ball. My game ball. My game ball, you know what? Even though this team lost, I got to give the game ball to Zach Wilson. I thought the Jets were completely going to get destroyed yesterday. I thought that after the first quarter, they was down 17-0. I was like, oh, here we go again. They're about to completely get murdered. But you know what? Zach Wilson actually played extremely well. He was poised. Yeah, he did turn the ball over at the end of the game, and he did go 3 and out a couple times as well. But he kept the Jets in the game. I thought the Jets played extremely well against the defending champions, Kansas City Chiefs. And although they lost, I got to give credit where credit is due. Zach Wilson showed up. He showed that he's an NFL quarterback for once in his entire life. Because other than last night, I've never really seen it. Not even week 1 when they won against the Bills. But I thought he played extremely well, and I got to give credit where credit is due. So Zach Wilson gets my game ball, and my not-so-game ball has to go to the Chicago Bears.
Start low at the bottom and work his way up to the top and high. Cravante, baby. Real quick, Cravante. Saturday, 12 noon, Fox, 5-0 Maryland Terrapins travel to the Ohio State.
Ooh,
Maryland 5-0 for the first time since 2001. Going
damn.
up against Ohio State 4-0. The spread is 19.5, by the way, Cravante. Do the Terps cover?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this game, unfortunately, might end up being close. The Ohio State in recent memory, they remind me of the Kansas City Chiefs in the fact that they do not cover point spreads and they don't give a damn. Like they just do what they gotta do to win. They don't care about point spreads number because I and something about the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, yo, a lot of money was lost when he did that slide at the 2-yard line. A lot of money was lost, yo. A lot of money because they was already up 3. They would have been up 9, then 10, and the point spread was 8.5. So anyway, I'm sure the betting world was going crazy last night. But Maryland football, they've been playing really well, and the Ohio State does not cover point spreads well. Usually when they get ahead by a lot, they take their foot off the gas. So this game could end up being a lot closer than the point spread indicates.
Yeah, I might bet that Maryland cover. But go ahead, brother.
If you could buy points, put it a little bit over 3 touchdowns. Just in case. But where am I? Not so game ball. Mac Jones, the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. I'm not sure who gets it, but one of them got to get it. It may be a combination. Mac Jones is not it. And if y'all have seen how Mac Jones is Mac Jones one's a dirty player. Like he's a dirty player. 2, his team is not really behind him. If y'all can see the minor scuffles he's in, nobody comes to his defense. And also, Bill Belichick, he's too old school. Like, he may need to think about stepping away from the game, at least from the coaching side. If he want to be in still football operations, cool. But coaching, it's a cold world without a quarterback, yo. And Sean Payton. It's a cold, cold world. And Bill Belichick, he seems like it's hard for him to get with the times, man. And I think the offensive world that we're living in from the NFL is zooming past Bill Belichick. He's still a great defensive mind, but when you don't have a quarterback to help you keep up, your defense is going to be on the field too long. And also, Gonzalez went down, and I think Judon went down. So the Patriots may not get to 5 wins this year, the way it's looking. But Mac Jones is not it either. Game ball, my gosh. I'm against my guy CJ Stroud, man. If we told the Ohio State, my man CJ Stroud. Listen, CJ Stroud has not had a bad game yet. If we really, really look at it. He has not really had statistically, he has not had a bad game. And my gosh, the beatdown he put on the team, another team, defensive minded head coach, quarterback, and offensive line, and defense good, but the offense, and that's what happens. Your defense is eventually going to give something up. And C.A. Stroud looking like the best quarterback in the draft. I'm just saying. And him and Anthony Richardson are playing pretty well, but Anthony Richardson has to stay on the field. But C.J. Stroud is looking like the best quarterback in the draft.
Looking fabulous for our boy D'Amico Ryans and the Texans, who I believe are tied for first right now. If my math is correct.
2-2.
Yes, sir. Let's get to these picks real quick. I know Dre said he should be hopping on soon. Bears Commanders Thursday night. Cravante, gotta win this game, right?
And bounce back, baby. We 2-game losing streak. Even though you played well against a divisional opponent, gotta bounce back. I know it's a short week. Gotta bounce back. Come on, Commanders.
Speaking of Dre, here he is.
There he is.
And hey, Dre, get your pen ready because we're not doing picks in the text message.
He's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Better late than never.
Yes. So get
Dre,
your pen.
As far as Raj, I'm ignoring him.
Don't you ignore me. I'm not texting you.
You gonna text me that? You gonna text me, goddamn?
Do you have a game ball? Well, Dre. Before we get to the picks, I know you just joined us. I want to get your game ball, not so game ball, and I would like to get your thoughts on the Ravens, my brother. I know you were excited watching your boys really put boots to asses, as you would say, up in the dog pound.
Yes, I always love a good ass whooping when it comes to the Browns, as you know, there's a lot of history between the Browns and the Ravens, not as far as the rivalry per se, with the Ravens been whooping ass for years, but as far as the whole Art Modell moving the Browns over, and now what's transitioned to be the Baltimore Ravens, and we've won 2 Super Bowls and they have none. So shout out to that. But I'm loving right now what I'm seeing out of the Baltimore Ravens. I wish that we could have seen Deshaun Watson play yesterday. Unfortunately, he couldn't play. But I actually in the poll, Byron, you asked what grade level. I gave them a C, and the reason I gave them a C thus far is because the first month, like I always tell y'all when we all talk, we talk sports, y'all, like all day. This isn't just a podcast here. We literally are brothers, and we talk all day, pretty much every day. And one thing that I keep iterating is that give it a little bit of time. I think that slowly. Each week, the offense is getting a little better each week. I think that one of the things that's really hurting us is injuries. I think we haven't seen the full potential of this Baltimore Ravens offense because key pieces like Odell and Bateman have been hurt, but we figured that Flowers, and that was somebody that Uncle Roger said would really step up. He was like, no worries. Flowers is going to be really, really nice this year. Byron alluded that he could be the possibly the offensive rookie of the year, and every time he's on the field, he's balled out. Him and Lamar instantly just have a connection. I was hearing the commentators talk about his nickname is Joystick. So, yeah, I think that's really a good thing that at least he has somebody to go to outside of Andrews. So I think that's really great potential right there for something to bloom from the offensive side. Defensive side, of course, injuries are killing the Ravens. I feel like they still don't really quite have a pass rush yet, but I think that they're at least holding up. And like you were saying, Byron, I heard you saying that. They're doing a lot better than what they have been, especially since that that letdown from the Dolphins game. They've slowly been back to it. It may not be the days of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, but at least this is a team that we can see can compete. And also, shout out to Engraven, who was a great guest for us today. They're going to have, some tests down the road. I'm not sure about Pittsburgh coming up because, Pittsburgh is going through some offensive struggles. They need a new offensive coordinator, bottom line over there. I don't think that Kenny Pickett is the issue. I really think it's just the offensive play calling. So I'm not worried about that. I think we'll have back-to-back good divisional wins, and that'll push us to about that pushes us to 3 wins within the division. And they always say worry about your division, then worry about your conference. They have a game in London against the Tennessee Titans. Though the Tennessee Titans aren't who they once was, I think that's sort of a rival for us, being that we've been like 1-1 with them in the playoffs the past couple years, and then also we just don't like them and they don't like us. I mean, these are things dating back to Ray Lewis and Eddie George. So I think that they're on the right track, but month 2 will tell a lot about what's to come for the Baltimore Ravens. As far as my game ball, not so game ball. Can I give an honorary game ball?
You can do what you like, brother.
And I want to give it out. I give my good brother a lot of flack on this show, but yesterday I was rooting as if I was a fan. The Washington Commanders. A lot of people were talking about a lot of moral victories yesterday.
There you go, Dre. There you go. You weren't here earlier. There you go. There you go. Had to let you shake the dress, my brother.
Appreciate you, man. I heard a lot of people talking about moral victories when it comes to Zach Wilson yesterday in his play on Sunday Night Football, which was really he actually had a game reminded me of Joe Flacco on Monday Night Football against the New England Patriots when I believe they were 14-0 at the time. Byron, was it? And we almost damn near had that. We should have if it wasn't for the timeout. But nevertheless, that's what yesterday's
Hold
game.
on, that wasn't Flacco. That was Bowler, I think.
It was Bowler? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Bowler.
Oh, that's right, Rex Ryan. Yeah, Rex Ryan.
Yeah, because Rex Ryan called a timeout. Yeah.
That Zach Wilson game reminded me of that, but I want to give the it's kind of like a moral victory, but I think it showed it showed me that this team is heading in the right direction, and that was the Washington Commanders yesterday, who damn near won the game, but which leads me into my not so game ball. Now I want to give an honorary game ball because they were in the game. But my not so game ball, I have to give it to Washington at the same time because Ron Rivera, I don't understand why you don't go for two. He could have. I just feel like they had momentum going. I feel like they were in the right direction. You could see that the defense was gassed. The fact that you guys scored a touchdown that quickly, I was like, just build on the momentum in the game now. Do not send it into overtime. And sure enough, Ron Rivera playing it conservative, going into overtime, and end up, losing the ball game. I just kind of like, I'd rather him just at least try to go for it, because I feel like Eric Bieniemy has really made a great impact on the Washington Commanders. And again, with it being the first month, there's going to be a lot of things for them to come. But I feel like that should have been the time to kind of like send a positive message, offensively for that team. And I want to give my game ball to. Who should I give my game ball to this week? I think I'm going to give my game ball to, you know what? Shout out to our boys, AJ and CJ. I'm going to give it to Minnesota for getting there, for finally getting a win.
Let's get to the picks, guys. Dre, you got the updated standings, or are you still working on that?
So I didn't total up all 4 weeks thus far, but I'm going to tell you who won week 3. Cravante actually won week 3. Unk was at 11-4. Unk, you was 10-5 that week. Then me at 9-6, and then Byron at 8-7. This past week 4, I was 12-3. Cravante and Byron were 11-4, and Unk was 10-5.
Cool. So I think we all agree Commanders over Bears, right?
Oh, that's a good one.
We got Jaguars and Bills in London yet again. I'm going Bills.
Can somebody explain that, Byron? You always talk about, Aaron Rodgers playing when he was with Green Bay at home, but I mean, how do you have back-to-back London games?
So according to, I actually asked D, Rod, you remember, I actually asked D this question yesterday because I was a little confused. So they were the home team this week. They have their normal home game every year in London, the London Jaguars, as we call them. And then they have a road game against the Bills because the Bills are the home team in London, but they're not playing at Wembley. They're playing at the other stadium in London. But the Jaguars are staying in London for 2 straight weeks, but they're the road team this week. So they play twice in London, once at home, their annual game, and once on the road, if you caught all of that.
You know what it sounds like to me? That sounds like complete BS. Because either way, you've been in London for 2 weeks. Like, that's at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yo, they like it, yo. I think
they do. They do like it.
They might as well move there. They gonna move there.
They cool, yo.
We going with the Bills there?
Yes,
the Bills. I'll go to Bills.
Actually, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I think Jacksonville might have it. But everybody else has Buffalo.
Yes.
That is a home game for the Jaguars, really.
That's the only reason I'm picking it. I'm like, let me see what they can really do. But I mean, Buffalo, ever since week 1, they've been on a roll, man.
Titans, Colts. Ugh, gosh,
I'm going.
it's
It's a
really
tough
a
get.
toss up.
Is are they in
I'm
Tennessee
gonna
or
go
they in,
Colts. They in Indy. I'm gonna go
They in
Colts.
Indy, but
I'm gonna go Colts.
Indy is so.
I
Yeah,
think
1
Jonathan
week.
Taylor might play this week. I think he might play.
I'm
yeah,
going with
practice.
I'm going with the Colts. I'm going with the
I'm-
Colts.
Ain't no way in hell the Titans gonna repeat. Like they gotta fall off.
All right, so everybody's saying the Colts. Okay.
Yeah. Real quick, Saints, Patriots. I think we all agree on the Saints.
Saints. Although the Patriots could win, but I'm going with the Saints.
Yeah, they
Yep.
could, but
Well, it is in New England. If this was cold New England, I would have said New England, but this is warm New England, so.
Texans, Falcons. Give me the Texans again. I'm gonna keep rolling with them.
Yeah, I'm going with CJ Stroud and them boys too.
Desmond Ritter might be benched in a couple
Man.
weeks.
What was that? What was that in the chat, Byron? That they that I think it was Rouse who posted that. Don't touch me or something like that.
Yeah, he hates Rouse hates Desmond Ritter, so I know he's enjoying seeing him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with, and I like the Falcons too, but I told you I knew their limitation was gonna be their quarterback. So yeah, I'm going with who they playing?
They play the Texans. Texans are in Atlanta.
Come on, CJ, run it back, CJ.
In a dome
he
too.
has not made no mistakes whatsoever. That's crazy that he has not had an interception. If Shador could come out, I would have said that they were taking for Shador because
Shador ain't coming out until next year.
Next year, yeah. But I mean, if he could have came out this year, I know Atlanta would have been like, please.
Perfect. It is like perfect. Come to
just like your father.
Come
like
on.
father,
Panthers.
like son.
I think we all agree.
Gonna keep
Panthers, Lions. We're going Lions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Giants, Dolphins. Oh my gosh.
Dolphins will bounce back.
Everybody knows that, yeah.
Bengals, Cardinals. I don't know about this one, but I'm gonna go Bengals.
No, you said you're gonna go Bengals?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals.
I'm going with the Cardinals, man. The Cardinals are looking.
I'm going with the Cardinals.
They looking better, man.
I'm going with the Cardinals too. I don't trust Joe Burrow and
if the Bengals lose this game.
Leg.
The Bengals lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
That's fine.
They're not making. I can't even say fully that they're gonna make it for real, man. This team's struggling for no reason.
And that offensive line, first of all, let me say something. From a Commanders fan, the Cardinals be playing some defense. They be playing some defense. And as trash that offensive line is the Bengals, they will give Joe. First off, they mean Joe Burrow need not play for he mess around, get hurt, and be done for the season. But I can't believe this, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals too, yo.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Eagles, Rams, Eagles.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles need by.
Jets, Broncos. Oh my gosh.
Another one. You know
what? I'm going. I gotta go. Let's ride, man. I gotta go. Let's ride.
You gonna go with Let's Ride?
I'm going with Let's Ride. I'm going with the
Broncos.
That's scary doing that shit back to back, yo.
It is.
That's scary.
And unless Zach Wilson has an epiphany and all of a sudden he's starting to play great every week, I don't know if he's going to do it 2 weeks in a row.
I'm going with Q's team. I think that the Jets actually. I think finally Zach Wilson is starting to turn the corner. You saw Aaron Rodgers was there, which means that Aaron Rodgers can be in his ear. The coach believes in him. The team seemed to rally around him, and I think he finally got it. And I think that the offense understands, okay, if he can play similar to what he did, running the football, being in play action, they can have a chance. Because he did throw some good balls. It's just that I just feel like he just probably hasn't really had some offensive protection. He's kind of holding on to the ball and stuff, but I think he can learn. I'm on with the Jets.
Give me the Broncos.
I'm rock with the Jets as well. I just not going with Let's Ride. They ride into a canyon at this point. I can't. But the Jets are really, really scrappy, and I think if they get with the Broncos for real, I think the Broncos are going to fold.
Chiefs, Vikings. I'm going Chiefs.
Chiefs, Vikings.
Everybody rolling with the Chiefs, man. Ain't no way.
Oh, but what are you playing at?
Minnesota.
I'm rolling with the Vikings.
Okay.
Oh, really?
With the Vikings.
Vikings over the Chiefs?
Yep.
I mean, the Chiefs have not looked like world beaters.
Sunday night, Cowboys 49ers, the game of the weekend.
Come on now.
I'm going with the 49ers, baby.
49ers. I think everybody rolling with the 49ers. Ain't that nah.
I picked them.
Gray, I was tempted to go Cowboys, but the 49ers right now are just unstoppable.
Not only that, I mean, you see how Christian McCaffrey is looking out there. Brock Purdy has not lost a regular season game. And Dallas, though, they only have their one loss against Arizona, which I think that they just honestly, I think they just took them for granted. Micah Parsons, he's we don't know his status really too much. Yeah, it's not like how the Cowboys were, the first 2 weeks. So
listen,
49ers, they have a favorable schedule, by the way.
I picked the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl. The that I have them playing against don't look like they're going to make the playoffs, which I had the Bengals. But I do still think the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl. It's just this time around, they probably going to win.
Yeah, 49ers got a pretty favorable schedule the next couple weeks. I mean, they got to play the Eagles. They do have to play the Seahawks, which I think the Seahawks can get one. They play the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they lose more than 3 games, I'll be surprised. But give me the 49ers. And then Monday, Packers, Raiders. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, Packers.
Love. The love.
He better be Lillard. He better be love. He better be love, damn it. No, look at Cravante. Oh.
Hey.
Wow. I saw the sparks, but wow, with the
let's get to the Dame Lillard stuff.
Oh wait, Ravens.
Ravens
Steelers. I'm sorry.
Everybody rolling with the Ravens?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Ravens this week. They better not let me down like they did a couple weeks ago.
Then you'll be an angry Ravens fan again.
Yes, I'd be extremely angry Ravens fan.
Real quick, Raj, I'll start with you, man. Dame Lillard is joining your boy Giannis in Milwaukee. Also, Drew Holiday traded to the Celtics. Does make Milwaukee the favorite?
I think it does somewhat. I still got to see what that bench can do. I know they got Bobby Portis on the bench. Pat McCovern is still there as well. Malik Beasley is starting. But Damian Lillard and Giannis should be pretty good together. And I did not see that coming at all. I thought that they would officially trade Dame to the Heat, but it didn't happen that way. So now you got Jimmy Butler looking like emo. They look like Batman from the new Batman movie or whatever. But yeah, I think it's a good combination, man. I like the trade. Dame Lillard doesn't have to be the guy anymore. He can be the number 2 man. He can get the ball to Giannis when he needs to get the ball and when he needs to hit a big shot. We already know what Dame Dollar can do, baby, in the clutch. So I think that's a match made in heaven. The only problem I have right now is can Middleton come back to form? Now, Middleton champion, with Giannis a couple years back. He helped them, win that championship. But he's had a couple injury issues over the past couple years. After that, can he come back to form? Can he play like he did a couple years back? We shall see. But I think that they're heading in the right direction with Dame and Giannis. Let's see if it keeps Giannis in Milwaukee for more years to come. He still hasn't signed an extension yet, but I think it was a great trade. Now with Drew Holiday going to the Celtics, I think that's another good trade, man. I don't like the fact that they lost Robert Williams, though.
There you go, Roger.
Robert Williams was a beast in the paint, and you need those kind of guys. I know they got Porzingis, but Porzingis is more finesse. And Al Horford is a lot older now. I think he's 37, 38, like almost LeBron James's age. Rob Williams was that young sprung guy. When you needed a rebound, he'd go up there and get it. We'll see what happens if they if they can beat Giannis in the playoffs, if they face each other, I don't know, that might be a problem. But as of right now, I got to give the slight edge to the Bucks because Dame is there. Giannis is still a beast, and Middleton, if he can come back to form, will give you a good 20 points. So the edge goes to Milwaukee for right now to win the East.
Go ahead,
You
Dre.
know what? I completely agree with Unc. Me and Karante were talking yesterday, and I kept saying over and over to our friend of the show, Shane, that um, what's going to hurt the Celtics the most to me was losing Robert Williams, um, because I feel like what's going to help Milwaukee. If they were to play Milwaukee, it'd probably go to like a 7-game series. But what's going to help Milwaukee is their size. I said that Robert Williams at least gave you some size and a defensive presence to kind of battle that. But I mean, clearly these are the top two teams in the East. They both made great moves. I wish that, like, of course, as a Lakers fan, we would have loved to have Drew. But if not, I would have loved to see a team like the 76ers get him. I feel like the right now it's just really the same two teams, Milwaukee and Boston. I mean, Philly, they don't seem to be in the mix, and James Harden, that's all turmoil. He doesn't want to be there. Embiid, we're not sure about whether or not he's still going to remain there or not. I think that this was a really good move having Dame to come to Milwaukee, because Milwaukee, I feel like they were missing was a closer, and I feel like Dame can be a closer. And the Miami Heat, I don't know what the hell was going on with Jimmy Buckets, but he was on some type of goth stuff. I don't know what in the world that was, but
He was watching The Truth Is, I think, but never mind.
Well, he almost looked like Uncle Clifford there for a second, but they're not in the mix. He knows it's over. So it's just two teams in the East, and the two teams who are in the mix, they both made moves and doing what they need to do in order to continue to be on a championship pedigree, while everybody else, is stagnant. Well, Miami did try; they just couldn't. They just couldn't reach a deal. But everybody else, I just feel sorry for them because, like I said, the 76ers, they didn't make any moves. Miami tried, but they didn't get it. So Milwaukee and Boston is great moves on both ends. And one thing that we also had talked about too was, though the Boston Celtics lost Marcus Smart, picking up Drew Holiday was a really great pickup for them, because what you lost with Marcus Smart, you're getting that with Drew Holiday. You're getting both scoring and a defensive presence right there. And Drew Holiday, we know what he can do when it comes to playoff time. So I feel like I said, both teams made really great moves. Of course, I'm gonna say that Milwaukee should be the favorite, and then Boston right on their neck. But both sides made some really good moves.
Go ahead, Gravante.
I loved it. I think we've been saying this for years that Dame should leave Portland. Like all that, loyalty. No, stop. You have a chance to win. Get out, because we all know Portland is not that type of market where they can hold people or people's going to come to you. Your team can't get better unless it's through the draft. And with how the NBA draft has been, not even lately, has always been, it's been a crapshoot. The best player in the draft may not be the number 1 overall pick. The best player in the draft may be the 15th pick. You know what I'm saying? So it's such a crapshoot in basketball. So I think he could have got out of there a little bit earlier, but nonetheless, out of there, he still has, the offensive game to, put up, close to 30, if not 30 points a game. Like Dre said, he's a closer, and that's one issue that Milwaukee's had, in previous years. And they got an option besides giving the ball to Giannis and him possibly going to the free throw line. And if he goes to the free throw line anything can happen. But if it's Dame, yeah, your percentages of winning close games goes up significantly. I do think they're the favorite to win the East and probably the favorite to win the championship. The Drew going to Boston, I thought that was a really good trade. He brings more of an offensive game than Marcus Smart did, but gives the same level of defense. I think they're both elite level defenders on the perimeter.
Mhm.
But Drew also gives 18 and 19 points, and he can facilitate offense. One of the Celtics' Achilles heel is that they have no point guard. They have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown going one on one. And lo and behold, we just found out Jaylen Brown don't have a left hand. What's really going on? But I think that would be great for the Celtics, and I do think the Celtics are the second. I think they are the second best team in the East. You know, Miami's gonna be Miami. Miami's gonna hang around. They're gonna beat up people. They're gonna play tough. But and I think the Celtics are better than the Sixers still. With James Harden still trying to figure out what he gonna do. So I love that trade for the Celtics. I love the trade for the Milwaukee Bucks. And also, the team we're not talking about, the Phoenix Suns. They got a little haul. Because the one thing that the Suns was missing.
Hey yo, why, man?
hey, Mark, chill, yo. You can tell the seasons are changing. It is really messing with me. But the Suns got. Did they get Nurkic? I mean, Little.
They got Nurkic,
Little, and they got somebody else. But that's what the Suns needed. The Suns needed a bench and other offensive weapons outside of. Well, they needed defense and a bench. And those guys, a couple of guys can shoot 3-pointers. Because we already know it's Bradley Beal, it's Devin Booker, it's Kevin Durant. All they needed was the bench. And I think those are 3 great contributors to the Suns. So everybody did well in this. Everybody did well in this trade. Well, Portland, Portland's gonna be Portland. But the Celtics won, the Bucks won, and the Suns won. So I think this is gonna make for an interesting NBA season.
Ikravante, you talked about Giannis and his free throws, but remember, like during the finals, I never seen somebody get so excited about shooting their free throws. Their press conference was so funny. He's like, "Set my free throws." You just
especially at home.
So but you're right though. Close time, give it to Dame.
Yeah, NBA Media Day today. So the NBA season, a few weeks away. We'll be talking about all 3 major sports. Real quick, we got the MLB Wildcard. Orioles are out of this round. They are on a bye, so you don't have to worry about it. But we got Rangers, Rays, Blue Jays, Twins, Diamondbacks, Brewers in the NL, and Marlins, Phillies. You guys can feel free to jump in. Any predictions? Anybody you think's gonna take it? It is the best out of 3 series.
Phillies, I'm rooting for them. Last year they went to the World Series. Of course, I like Bryce Harper, but also, I like the Phillies and the fact that they're at least still in the dance. I like that. Another team, I know they're in the division, but it would be cool to see the Blue Jays advance as well. I'm thinking about Vladimir Guerrero. So, just some people that, I want to see at least, have a chance to compete. And then also the Angels end up firing their manager, which tells me ultimately that they were all in for Ohtani, but they ain't gonna be able to keep him. That he already knows it's a dumpster fire. So, and then also Buck got fired today as well. So
He gone.
He loves his guys.
I love my guys. Yes, but the
He
Orioles
was
will
good
play the
though. He was a
winner.
good manager for us. You know, it just
Orioles will
sucks
play
that-
winner of the Rangers and Rays, by the way. So we'll see.
I don't
Any
have
thoughts?
any. I don't have any thoughts on the wild card. I'm just waiting for Saturday to see what the Orioles and who they play.
Well,
Honestly,
you
I'm just
said they
being.
play the winner of the Rangers and who else?
Rangers and Rays.
I think
And
they'll
the
be
Blue
playing.
Jays Twins will get the Astros.
I think they'll be playing the Rays.
The
I agree,
Rangers.
Roger.
That would be. I would like to really see them face the Rangers. I think that would be a good series. And of course, you know, Orioles and Astros. That would really be a real good series right there. But yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with the if the Rangers can take on the Orioles.
Cravante, any thoughts?
I ain't got nothing crazy. Rays will move on to play the Orioles, and we already know that's going to be a great matchup. But I like to see the Orioles go as far as they can possibly go.
We shall see. I don't know if they're still doing the pizza thing, guys, in the playoffs. I don't know if that's still a thing.
If they don't.
The Ravens do it. They'll be doing it.
Oh, okay. It's uncharted territory. Okay, Jay, you get more pizza.
He's uncharted territory.
Oh, snap. I got it.
So you got it. It must be the iOS 17. That's what it must be.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that.
Oh. Wait a minute. You said that. You said it must be what?
iOS 17.
Oh,
Did you upgrade? Did you update your phone?
Yeah, I did.
There you go. That's why you got the.
For a
Oh,
second.
Jay.
For a
More
second,
ways for Big Brother to control us. I mean, watch us.
I don't know why for a second I thought you were talking about that spot in Towson, 7 West. I don't know why that came to mind. Don't mind me. But.
This guy Dre, man. Great happy hour, by the way.
Byron, you know what goes down in the 7 West, man.
I don't want to know what goes on in anything that you're.
Hey man,
we'll share it after.
all I know is they got a good happy hour, Dre. That's all I know that goes down is the drinks and the lamb chops.
The drinks will get you.
There you go. Cravante, you ready to get goofy, man? Get out of here.
Yeah. Let's do that. I want to show.
Yeah, of course. Something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy.
There's you got. I won't be able to show you guys. I think I can just flip my camera, and I don't think it's that easy. But my gosh, there's this picture that y'all have to see. Y'all was talking about it before, but anyway, before I get into that, welcome, good people, to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time to let me tell the good people what I thought was goofy this particular week. And there's been some very, very goofy things in football and in sports in general. But first things first, I have 2 levels of goofiness. I have a low level goofy that is Jet Green, even though they're trying to get out their own way. That's a low level goofy. We laugh about it. We typically move on after that in the hopes that it does not turn to a higher level of goofiness, which is the Cardinal Sin Red. Excuse me. This is what we got to the level of goofiness where we have to talk about it. It's no longer funny. It's no longer kiki. We have to figure out what's going on. We have to talk. We have to congregate and figure out how to make this goofy not so goofy. But I'm gonna just turn my camera. I'm gonna try to turn my camera around for this picture. And I meant to hit Byron early so he could possibly have a picture, but. Have y'all seen Jimmy Butler lately?
Hold on, I got you, brother. Do your thing. I'll find a picture. I got you. Give me 1 second.
Please. Jimmy Butler is going through a midlife crisis. I think he's desperately hurt that the Damian Lillard trade has fallen through, and he's gone to a much colder climate, a not as fun climate, which means he's all about basketball. But Dame got a family and kids and all that, so Miami probably wouldn't be the best place for him for off the court purposes. But he's gone to Milwaukee, and Jimmy Butler's hurt. Jimmy Butler immediately after it happened, Jimmy Butler has said that, oh yeah, I might want to look into tampering for the from the Milwaukee Bucks and all that. And I'm like, I don't know if he was trolling, if he was being for real. But then, bow, there he is, putting on his best Cat Williams impression right now, and I don't know. I'm not sure. This is the Roger. This is the second Miami Heat player that's gone off the rails a little bit. Cause y'all all remember my picture of Dwayne Wade. Y'all all remember that picture. And now Butler, he's stressed right now.
It's that Florida water, man.
That this is his mid-life crisis, because the Damian Lillard thing fell apart, but also not just that. Drew Holiday goes to the Celtics, so the top of the East has just gotten a lot harder, and now he's stressed out. He's trying to figure out what the hell we gonna do, and you know what he's gonna do? They're probably gonna do nothing. They're gonna be as tough as they can be, like we know the Miami Heat to be, but they're just not gonna give over the top. I don't think they got enough to beat the Celtics or the Bucks right now, and and Jimmy Butler is trying to figure it out. I don't know how long this is going to be. This could be a phase. I'm not sure, but oh my heavens! Oh my heavens! I thought this was a low level goofy, but my gosh, this might be. We might got to talk about this one, guys, because he had a photo shoot, and everybody allowed it.
Oh, you didn't know? This was the first this is day one of like media for them. That's why the whole press conference and all that happened. Yeah, this is day one for them. That's why he had his uniform on. They had a photo shoot. Yeah. He knew what he was doing.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yo, I was going to get this. I'm not sure what level of goofiness this is, yo. I thought it was green, but I don't know. I'm going to leave it green because I haven't done a green in a while. But my God, Jimmy, what's up, baby?
Give him a red. Red like this tablecloth. Red.
He really showing another side of his personality. And I'm not sure.
No, the hell with that. Nah, he gets a red, man. He gets a red. No damn green. No, this man gets a complete red goofy.
I agree.
Ridiculous.
And that's not a green. No. It's a red. I'm mad that they got him next to 3 stacks like that. Why?
It's ridiculous.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
This is what happens when you lose in the NBA Finals 2 times in a row. You just start to look like this.
Hey, yo, Jimmy. I don't know what's going on, baby, but call somebody, man. Call me. Call the Flex Zone. We gotta figure this out. Please call somebody. And I hope it's a phase. I hope it's a phase. But okay, cool. First meeting today. He want to make a splash. That's what Jimmy want to do. Oh shit!
That was last year, by the way. So
oh shit! Oh man. Whew. Okay. All right. I'm off, Jimmy. I'm off. I'm off, Jimmy.
All right. Okay.
I'm off, Jimmy. All right. My next goofy is my next and final goofy is definitely of the red variety. It's the Chicago Bears. Definitely. Don't make me hit your mama. Don't want to beat your mama. Just want to make you come. Hey, they stupid, yo. Yo, y'all stupid, yo. Y'all dumb. All right, so it's the Chicago Bears, yo. I looked up a crazy stat, and I had to do some math because the numbers were off a little bit. But since how can I concentrate with him on the screen? Okay, listen. So since Lovie Smith has been dismissed as the coach of the Chicago Bears, I want to say the Bears have been 64 and 102 since Lovie Smith has been gone. And you know what I say to that? That's what y'all get. That's what y'all get. That's exactly what you get. Lovie Smith was the best thing that happened to y'all, and y'all treated him like dirt. He took Rex Grossman to the Super Bowl. He deserves a lot more respect. But they pretty much haven't. They had that one good year with Matt Nagy. But other than that, Mark Trestman, John Fox, Matt Nagy, and then another Matt. Yeah, I think they went back to back with the Mats, and then now Matt Eberflus. Everybody's had Matt Nagy's the only one who had a winning record with 34 and 31, but everybody else has been terrible. And the Bears just don't know what they're doing. And unfortunately, yes, Matt Eberflus is probably going to lose his job, but Justin Fields is really, really, really losing. Is really going to lose in this ordeal because he has talent, but there's nobody there to hone in on his talent and help it grow. So it was probably best for Justin Fields is for him to get up out of there. But not just him. Matt Eberflus' seat is on fire right now. It's red hot. Red hot. I don't see a scenario where he continues to have his coaching duties into after the end of the season. Like he may not even make the Black Monday because they lose to I don't know what his schedule look like, but this Thursday, if they mess around and lose us, they'll be 0-5. When are they gonna get a win? Because I thought their best chances of win was the Broncos. But they look really, really, really bad. And then the way they lost against the Broncos this past weekend, what the hell? Justin Fields looked like, oh snap, Justin Fields breaking out, and they still found a way to lose against a Broncos team that plays terribly in the second half of games. And they came back, and not this comeback, they completed the comeback with the win. When is the last time the Bears had a legit quarterback? I guess Jay Cutler, I guess. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. But I don't like what they're doing with Justin Fields. I know he's a young Black quarterback, so he's ultimately somehow, some way, going to be the scapegoat of this. But Matt Eberflus is going to have to go too. Like, there's no way he may not even make it to Black Monday. But the disheartening part is that Justin Fields is unfortunately going to go down with this ship. I hope he's able to go to a better situation. Similar to, I guess, like a Trey Lance, but maybe not in the quarterback 3 situation. But he may possibly get with an offensive-minded head coach that can hone in on his abilities and his strengths, because the Bears just are allergic to good offensive weapons. I don't know what to say or what to call it, but the Bears are terrible. The Bears. I thought it was the Cardinals at first. The Giants sprinkled in, the Broncos even. Nope. The worst team in football is the Chicago Bears. Through 4 weeks, through 1 quarter of the season, it's the Chicago Bears, and I feel very, very sad for Justin Fields. But you know who I'm not sad for? Matt Eberflus. And sometimes, and not just sometimes, but the Bears don't deserve nice things. I don't think they deserve nice things. But that's it for me. The Chicago Bears is my high-level goofy of the week. And Jimmy Butler and that wild hairstyle goes from green to red all in one sitting because that one with Andre 3 Stacks put it over the top. I was going to let it go. But those are all my goofies of the week. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and they're on the wrong side of it. Got to do better, guys. Got to do better.
Gosh, something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy.
Definitely goofy.
Definitely.
Like,
Episode. Go
like,
ahead, Devontae.
what is he? What was Jimmy Butler thinking about?
He said he's emo.
He's very emo.
Mid-life crisis.
Oh boy.
There you go. Hold on me. There you go. DJ, Jersey Dre. Oh, now Dre dropping 7 West things in the chat. Jersey Dre. Next week we got another special guest, correct?
Yes. We have a Steelers fan on the show next week. I can't wait. She's chimed in, and now she will be a part of the table next week.
Yes, I did. I believe she was in the chat. I did see her. There she is, I believe.
Yep.
Was it Chocolate Rider, I believe? Or was it
No, it was
Sharon, I think.
Sharon.
Yeah, shout out Sharon. Steelers fan. So it'll be great to talk to her after we
But I mean,
beat
Chocolate Rider, if
Steelers.
you want to come on to, you're more than welcome as well.
Yes, Raj. Another busy week ahead. A lot of stuff happening.
A lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff going around the city. Just stay tuned. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Plenty of things coming for the channel. You already know what it is. Ravens content, Orioles content, wrestling content. Got a bunch of content. So hit the damn like button and subscribe.
Yes, executive producer Andre Melton. Cavante's trying to get his effects going. Let's see if it'll work. No?
Probably got back away from the camera. There you go.
Yeah.
Back away from the camera, Raj.
There you go. Executive producer Andre Melton, senior producer Cavante Harris, social media producer Raj, the Meat Daddy,
Lord.
social producer yours truly, God's favorite host. Only place fellas give you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Throw your ones up, acknowledge the head of the sports podcast table, the Flex Zone, because it's the Flex Zone era. Twitter, Instagram, the Flex Zone 1, Gmail, the Flex Zone 1, Cash App, the Flex Zone 1, and TikTok, the Flex Zone Podcast. We were live tonight, episode 410. Next week, episode 411, Monday. Wednesday, AEW Dynamite gets rated R. As Adam Copeland is now all elite, Dre. I told you he was going there, brother.
Who cares?
Oh, come on. Don't be.
He's a hater.
It's going to be great. 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 Just wait and see. It was great last night if you didn't see it, by the way. Saturday, the Orioles, first game of the playoffs. Time, team.
Wow, a lot. Fast lane.
To be determined. I'll be live after that game for the post-game show. Saturday night is Fastlane. I may be here, but we'll be live. I may be here.
Morgan's homecoming.
Morgan's homecoming. Yes. Don't be goofy out there, guys.
I will be.
And Monday is the funeral also for Blake Bozeman as well.
Again, rest in peace to Blake. Sunday, Raj pulling double duty because the Orioles play again and the Ravens play the Steelers. So,
wow.
We'll figure that out. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we'll figure it out. Yeah. So hit the bell, everybody. Once again, shout out to Engraven. Always coming on here showing his love.
Yes.
Follow his channel, Engraven Team. Keep it clean in his new channel, Engraven. More Engraven vids where he talks about the whole NFL. His main channel's more on the Ravens. This week's going to be busy. Like I said, I don't know how we're going to make it work. We're going to make it happen. Flex on Podcast. For Raj, for Dre, for Cavante. God's favorite host signing out. It is really time to go to bed. Thank you, everybody, for watching. All the comments, all the likes, all the subscribers. People who will see this show tomorrow and down the line during the week. Again, shout out to Engraven. Thank you, everybody, in the comment section. Stay tuned. Hit the bell. A lot of content. Something for everybody. Lottie-dottie, everybody, as Dre would say. It's time for bed. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week for episode 411 and throughout the week for AEW Fastlane, Orioles post-game show, and Ravens post-game show, and Ravens preview as well. Peace. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.
Finish him, Daddy. Finish him, Daddy.